Hi there, this is Jenny from the Nurture Bubble. This week I'm thinking about the things that we carry and the difference between the busyness that we can recognize, the appointments, the juggling, the all the things that have to get done. But what's actually harder, I think, to recognize and to maybe see is definitely to recognize, but it's also hard to see the things that are not the busyness, but the load that we're actually carrying. The things like the responsibility, the worry, the emotional load, the things that sit inside us that actually no one else sees. And that's the space that I'm thinking about this week across my posts in the Nurture Bubble. The difference between carrying and busyness. And for me, the carrying, the internal stuff, the things that were going on inside me, I put on a brave smile or a face that looked like I was coping. But actually, I wasn't. And that was what was taking a toll on me inside. Not what I was projecting, not what anyone else could see, but what was actually going on inside. And that's just really made me think about the difference between what we carry versus the load that that shows up in our busyness, the schedules, the juggling, the things that are very normal, and how for many women, just doing and pushing through because that's what's needed is normal. And I guess I'm thinking a little bit about, is there something we could shift? One little thing that maybe would make a difference. I don't know what it is. Maybe you don't know what it is. But sometimes it's that awareness that I'm really passionate about raising awareness so that we can see these things. Because without awareness, we can't change anything. And we're not always in the right time to change things or to be able to do them differently. And it's about being kind to ourselves if we're in that space where you're doing what needs to be done because it needs to be done. That's okay. And that's a space that we sometimes need to be in. But when that space falls into our normal, that's not quite okay. That's not quite as okay. And that's the difference. And that's the space that I love being able to, share my experience of learning about that. I have learned about that. I'm still learning about that. I still overload my calendar. I did it earlier this year already. Never going to stop learning. But it's the being able to pause and stop and reflect and go, what's one thing that I can control, that I could shift, that might make a difference? Yeah. It's the pause. It's being able to stop when we can to actually think about that. That's powerful. That's beautiful. And it's part of what helps us to recognize the difference between the busyness and the load that we're carrying. So hopefully this little reflection makes sense. I'm not perfect. It's not perfect. Life is not perfect. I'm not a perfect person. I'm never going to be perfect. But I hope that by being able to share my reflections and my space, my thinking, we can get, I can help other people. So that's it for me. I'll talk with you again another time. Take good care. Be kind to yourself. Bye for now.